Hello, this is Marshall Zhukov, and here we are together again on YouTube. I'm doing a little different deal here, just for a minute. I'd get to this point of the video anyways, but I don't know if anybody can tell what this is by just how it sits. But it's a little bit different approach here, just kind of starting from the middle maybe. I'm going to show the bore condition of this pistol as best I can. I'm not sure how well it's going to work with the camera. Trying to zoom in down the bore with the bore light. Trying to show the very nice sharp lands and grooves that are in the barrel of this pistol. Now, hopefully this can be seen well. The bore is just in phenomenal shape. There's a good one right there. I'll give you a hint. It shoots this. Little 357 mag action. So here she is. We may be able to see the medallion here on the grip. That's a little better, get the right angle of light. And maybe for those that know Colt Revolvers well, you may be able to tell what this is in the holster. But this is something I have actually been kind of keeping my eye out for quite a while now. And I'm very excited to present this Colt Trooper Mark III and 357 Magnum. This serial number on it dates it to 1972. It's an oldie, but judging by the way the barrel looks, it almost looks like there's more miles put on this gun in a holster than there have been rounds put downrange with it. So here we go out of the holster. The holster is actually from a identical model Trooper Mark III that was made in 1978. I think the serial number dates it to. It's not one that I have pictured, but I've learned a little bit about this pistol, not really knowing much when I bought it, even though I know Colt makes a good revolver, and I'm sure there's going to be some haters and there will be some lovers, but with anything, that's how it is. It's got a very nice double action. Single action is a very light pull. It's very pleasant to shoot. One of the things that I learned about this gun is we can see here this transfer bar on the Mark IIIs. The only way supposedly that this will fire is only if the trigger is pulled and it hits the transfer bar and transfers that energy to the firing pin. So supposedly that's the only way this will shoot. One other interesting thing I learned about this is that I'm not sure which pieces or parts, but I think it's probably some of the internal parts are made by what's called sintering. I was reading an article on Wikipedia, and I know Wikipedia isn't the best place sometimes to get facts, but there were citations in the article, and the definition that they had for sintering, it's almost like casting, but you're using the powder particles, and it gets heated up until they bond to each other, and it's supposed to be a very strong bond of parts, and tolerances can be made in these to fit very close by that methodology, and it was cheaper, and that's what they decided to do. I had no frickin' idea that was even ever a word until I read that article. The one thing though that I guess maybe it's because I've never owned a Colt revolver, is I've always shot Smith & Wesson revolvers, and I know they're both good revolvers, but the mechanism to open the cylinder, you pull back on it, as is typical with Colts. So that will take a little getting used to. That won't be hard to do though. I'm just used to the Smith & Wesson little buttons you push forward. But they both work. They both work well. Now we can see here a little bit on the cylinder that there is some wear, probably from being in the holster on the edges. We can see wear on the edges and the ring around the cylinder, which is really common with any revolver. But I don't know. It's hard to say how much action this has seen, how many rounds have been fired out of it, just based on the appearance of that barrel. That was one of the selling points. And I bought this at the WAC show, the Washington Arms Collector, and one of our good friends, Ruger6, was there with me. He even did a free consult and shared his opinion on it. And pop on over to his channel. That's Ruger6. I guess I can spell it out too for anybody that doesn't know. And see the little pistol that he bought, little Smith & Wesson. Was a neat one. I was there when he got that one, and he did all right on it. But this is not a bad looking gun. Unfortunately, I haven't shot it yet, but that's going to change this weekend, one way or another. So when I was there checking it out, one of the things that I was checking for function kind of as much as I could while I was there, the guy didn't want me to dry fire it, but oh well, I just stuck my thumb right here and just pulled the trigger, and there's not enough power behind that hammer to hurt your thumb at that point. But it wasn't bad at all. One of the other things I checked out is how the cylinder spins. This is a very smooth spinning cylinder. As we can see, there's not a lot of play in it, and it doesn't have a wobbly spin to it. So it's a very smooth, which is very good. And then once the cylinder is closed back into the pistol, another thing to check is how much it moves. And we can see just a little bit here that the cylinder moves, which probably means it's seen a little bit of magnum load action. But movement in the cylinder, that's not bad. Back and forth as well. It's hardly moving at all. And brand new from the factory, there's a little tolerance in there for it to move. But the other Trooper that I have here, it's a little bit tighter than that. But it probably has not ever been shot before. So I don't know if that's stock on the sight, the front sight, but it looks like it should have a good sight picture. This rear sight is adjustable, and that's okay. I like that. But I had a good time up at the WAC show with Ruger6. He's not too far from Puyallup. I'm not too far from Puyallup, where the show was held. And I try to make every show up there in Puyallup